And I mean, if you need to swear, you just turn off the camera for 1 minute and you pretend there was something wrong with the internet. And then you come back smiling.
That's also true, yeah.
Hello there, this is Millennials Abroad, unrequested opinions. Stay tuned for more unrequested opinions.
Hi, hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of our beautiful podcast.
Hello.
That we created only for you.
Oh
for
my
you only.
God. As you can notice, we are wearing the same clothes, which is pretty obvious. The reason is pretty obvious. It's because we are recording 2 episodes in a row, and I was pretty stupid. I didn't bring any clothes with me, so...
Yeah, but for the people who are just listening, that's fine. So
Yeah, they don't care.
yeah, they didn't need to know.
They didn't.
Now they know.
Now they know.
Now they
Oh
know.
my God.
You're not really good at keeping secrets.
No, I'm not. No, I'm joking. I'm really good at keeping secrets. Yes. It's just that I'm really aware of the camera. Okay. All right. So the topic we're discussing today is friendship.
Yeah.
It's kind of a hot topic, right?
Yes. Not the easiest one.
No.
You could have chosen.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. So we thought we could start with some kind of icebreaker question, which is
Good idea.
What's your favorite fictional friendship?
So this was a hard one because every time you watch something, you're like, oh yeah, I really wish that guy or that girl was my friend, and then you forget about it. But I would say, well, not long ago I watched this TV series. It's actually from HBO, but now it's available on Netflix, which is called Insecure.
Right.
And I really like the friendship between Issa and Molly, which are the 2 main characters. And the fact that I like it is because at a certain point their friendship is kind of going to break up. And there are some parts that are really difficult and you feel like, okay, is this going to end or not?
Right.
But in the end, well, I don't want to spoil for the people who haven't watched it yet, but let's say that if you find a kind of reason why you want to be friends with someone, even if things change, I mean, if you ask yourself that question, why do I want to be friends with this person, does it make sense to still go on a friendship, then that is going to really help and make you understand if it's worth it.
Yeah, and that you can carry on, right? Yeah.
Because sometimes we just grow apart and there's nothing
true.
bad about that. It's just life.
Yeah, that's very true, yeah.
But what about you? Do you have a happier one?
Of course, being a huge Friends fan, I'm gonna say Monica and Rachel. And the reason is because so they were friends in high school, but then they, as you were saying, they grew apart. And then they meet many years later, and they're in a completely different kind of situation with their lives. And Rachel is kind of the spoiled girl coming from a rich family, never worked in her whole life, you know. And so Monica basically, she kind of started this kind of mission, you know, to I want to become friends with this person, and she kind of endured also the most the weirdest and most difficult situations, and their biggest differences, let's say, both in their personalities and in their personal lives. And it worked in the end. So
yeah, it worked.
Yeah, so it's nice.
Yeah, it's a good example, Angela. Thank you.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you for sharing.
Oh my God, that's so formal. Yeah. All right, so since we're living abroad, we're living in the Netherlands. We're Italian, by the way. We kind of wanted to also talk about how different it is to
to have a friend here.
yeah
It's
yeah
very different. Like, well, there are different variables at play.
Mhm.
First of all, you are an expat.
Yeah.
You're older, so you don't really have like that everyday life you used to have back in Italy. Because, for example, in my case, the friends that I still have in Italy, I would say 95% are a person that I met when I was a kid or a teenager,
Yeah, same.
and not in adulthood. And those are the ones I kept. Instead, when you arrive here, you need to make friends with someone in an adult age, in a different language, and while you're working.
Exactly.
So you need to kind of balance everything.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe your friends, in their 30s, maybe they have family or they have children. So there are like a lot of things to take into account, and also then the time that you reserve for these people is not as much as it used to be in the past.
Yeah, I think that's the kind of the biggest difference, right? Because when you're a kid, you are kind of stuck with some people. With some others, of course, you choose to spend time with. But I feel like friendships when you're a kid are more connected to school. I don't know, university, for example. So which is also different university. I would say school is the biggest difference that I can see, right? Because you are seeing these people every day. You spend a lot of time during the day with these people. So of course you choose to be friends with somebody and not with everybody. It's normal.
Yeah.
But still, you don't have to make time to be with that person. You basically see them anyway every day.
Yeah, the time
So
is there.
yeah, exactly. So that's the difference there. And I feel like it's also here in the Netherlands it's difficult also because there is a language barrier. At least for me, I don't speak Dutch. I can understand it a little bit, but when it comes to speaking, no, because I haven't even tried, to be honest. So I might be good at it, and I don't know. But still, it is a boundary, right? Because of course, it is more difficult in that area for that reason. And you a lot of time, of course, you're working and you're spending most of your day at work. So maybe you end up being friends with people you work with, which is fine, and there's nothing wrong with it. That's how we met, actually.
Yeah, that's how we met.
Yeah, we used to work together. Yeah, but it's fine. But outside of that, unless you are a very outgoing person, but not even unless you have a lot of hobbies, interests, it is more difficult. I feel like I do have interests and hobbies, but a lot of those involve me being alone because I don't really, I don't really love to be around people that much or that often, let's say. So to me, I feel like it's harder because I would have to make an effort, to go out and do stuff in order to meet people. So sometimes.
And also, if you are an introvert, for example, for me, it's unless I'm in a really good mood, I don't just randomly talk with the first person I meet.
Oh, yeah.
I really need to be in a really good mood. And I tend to have several hobbies that you can also do with other persons. But the thing is, even if there are other things you can do in English here, I always end up with other Italians.
That's also
and that's
true. Yeah.
Even if there are a lot of Italians in the Netherlands, you would be surprised about how many Italians there are here.
Yeah.
Still, there's just a small amount of people you meet, and you don't feel like being friends with all of them. So it's like a smaller circle that you can choose from. Pool you can choose from. And then, yeah, it's easier because there is no language barrier. But on the other side, it is also feel like, yeah, well, if I want to have all these Italian friends, I would have stayed in Italy.
Yes.
I wouldn't have come here.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
really-
Yeah, yeah.
It's a bit weird.
Yeah. And there's a lot of like differences also, right? I feel like a lot of Italians, they tend to go into that. Oh, we're both Italians
Yeah, there
living
must be
abroad.
a connection.
living abroad, so we're friends.
Yeah,
We're not.
no.
Just no.
Yeah, and maybe as we mentioned in another episode, also the fact that it's not so spontaneous here,
That's true.
friendship in a way, and that can also be connected, I think, with the age. But as we were saying while we were brainstorming for this episode, like when I'm in Italy, even if I have 5 minutes, I can call a friend of mine, tell her, look, I don't know, I'm going to do groceries, would you like to come with me? Do you have time for coffee? You always find
Yeah.
like minutes to share with someone. Instead here, like, I mean, you really need to schedule an appointment with someone to meet this person, and if by chance you go to their place and you ring the bell, most probably this person is not going to be there, or is going to do like, I don't know, an online course or whatever. So it's really hard sometimes to combine.
No, that's true. That's true. I feel like there are a lot more possibilities when I'm in Italy to see people and meet with people if I want to, even for 5 minutes, and even if it's completely not scheduled. But I feel like that's also because, of course, you have a bigger pool of like connections, but it's also it's also cultural, of course. I feel like there's always that gap, right? It's always gonna be there, and it's fine on one hand, but there are some times in which you simply wish, like I just want to see you for 5 minutes, then I'm just gonna be sick of you and want to be alone again, and you end up like having to schedule, I don't know, a dinner with somebody. And it's not always ideal because maybe you don't want to necessarily go to dinner. You simply want to chit chat with somebody, and the only way which you can do that, it's let's go schedule in 1 month or 2 months. We're gonna go and eat at this place.
Yeah.
It's fine. I mean, I love eating, but on the other hand, it's kind of you're kind of forced to do that.
Yeah, it's kind of, you need an excuse to meet someone. It's not like you meet someone just because you want to meet the person and you're
that's
gonna
true.
find a room for this person among the million of things that you need to do. Yeah, it's different.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
But I'm curious to know how did your relationship change with those friends that you had in Italy, if you still have them? And, I mean, even if you go back for holidays, of course, you don't have like that everyday life to share.
True. So I've never had a lot of friends. I've never been the kind of person that has a lot of friends. I had like my oldest friendship is connected to school. Is I was in school with this in high school with this girl. We're still friends. And the other ones are not that like close friendships. I have one that it's kind of a very old connection. Like our moms were friends, so but it's not really like, sometimes you have those friendships and those relationships that you just want to do that one thing together with. Like, I don't know, I'm really fine and I really enjoy doing this specific activity with this person. I probably wouldn't like reach out to them during the day, or I don't know, go to the cinema or whatever, because that's not how I feel about this person and this relationship. But I feel like maybe, I don't know, in that specific activity you're good doing it with that person. And it's also like, it's not a close friendship, but it's also kind of a relationship and kind of a connection that you have. But yeah, it is different. And with these friends that I have that are really old friendships that are still living in Italy, I feel like, yeah, it's kind of a catching up kind of situation, but also not so much, because we hear, we kind of talk during, the year over the phone, texts, and all of that. So yeah, and of course we've grown in the meantime in a completely different setting, because
Yeah.
two different countries. But still, it's nice, and at the same time, sometimes you find out stuff that they're like, oh, this is a thing here. It's kind of, yeah, a bit weird sometimes. It can conversations can be weird sometimes, but it's nice.
Yeah, I mean, I feel the same. I also don't have that many friends, and but what I know is that usually when I go back to Italy, well, I tend not to stay too long when I go, but I know that for that small periods, I always have these 3 or 4 friends I can always rely on, and I know that they know, okay, Erica's coming back, so let's find room for her so that we can meet and stay together, and that's pretty reassuring in a way because yeah, even if I live somewhere else, and yeah, I'm not with them every day on a daily basis. There's still a connection,
Yeah.
and we're there for each other. And one thing that I notice is that as soon as I come back to the Netherlands, we try to keep in touch more. It's like we're feeling like, oh, okay, so we met again. It's really nice to stay with you. This connection, let's keep it up. And then, of course, with time, like number of interactions decreases.
Yeah.
But because as we were saying, like we work and I mean, some of my friends have children.
True.
We have family.
Yeah.
There are a lot of things going on. So
Yeah.
which also make you like kind of be a bit picky in a way because, for example, as I grew older, I realized that I don't have so many friends because now I feel like okay, my time here is really precious, so I want to spend it and dedicate my time only with the person that I really care about. So I kind of let go of these friends that you would like see, but just to see them.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true. Yes, and it both goes into that also like work and life balance. Let's say bigger topic because as you were saying, like you're busy, you're working, or you're living your life, and especially if you're not living in the same country, it's really hard. My closest friend, she has pretty active Instagram account. She has a lot of followers. She does something very specific. It's not stupid or frivolous. So in a way, I kind of see her every day because and we chit chat every day we text every day because maybe I reply to something that she's saying or whatever. But still, it's not the same. It's not like seeing each other every day. So
yeah, that's different.
Yeah. So and of course, there's also I think I kind of touched this topic a little bit before, very briefly. There's also, at least to me, that's the social anxiety part that sometimes I feel like it's limiting me. I honestly, and
you
this
mean in the number of interactions or the number of people you kind of are friends?
yes, but also because I tend not to really get exposure in situations where I can be surrounded by a lot of people, you know what I mean?
Okay, so if you know you're gonna go to a crowded place, you'd rather not go.
If I can avoid it, I will. And sometimes you cannot avoid it because maybe it's a party or it's work stuff. So you do that, and then what happens is, most of the time I do enjoy it. Then when I go back home, I need to be alone because because to me it's really tiring. so I would say that, like, in general, I'm sorry, I don't like people. I don't really like people. Let's be completely honest. I don't hate people, but I prefer to spend time alone, or with very carefully chosen people, and not even every day. So I need to have my alone time every day, for example, so that, to me, that's also kind of social anxiety, because if I know that I'm going to spend time with a lot of people, maybe, I kind of need to prepare myself for that, because I'm going to be very tired at the end.
Yeah, me too. I kind of need to be meant to be prepared. And sometimes I really push myself. So I go out and I like, what happens to me is that, especially those days in which or periods in which I'm more depressed, I try to go out and not show that. So people actually tell me, "Oh, Eric, I see you really well today. You're really looking great. Yeah, even if this and this happened, you still keep on going. Really good." And I like fake it a lot, and then I go home and like I have the entire Sunday, if I go out on Saturday, in which I just need to stay on the couch.
Right.
Yeah, with a warm cover, drinking something really hot, and just like to find myself again. It's really weird.
No, I understand that 100%. To be honest, I feel like it's kind of the same also in general with social interactions. I think that if I didn't have a boyfriend already, for me it would be very difficult to find one, because in order for me to meet people, I would need to be surrounded by people,
Yeah,
and
you're supposed to see them.
I don't want to do that. There's also, like, living abroad, maybe that's even probably more true, but not necessarily like having different values, or maybe that can also happen with people that you know from your childhood, that maybe you grow in the meantime, you grow up in different places and with different people doing different stuff, so your values can be very much different, right?
Yeah, actually I think that I share more values with the persons I met abroad than with the people from my childhood. And sometimes it feels a bit I don't want to say weird, because we are abusing this word.
Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, it feels like something got lost in translation, even if we are speaking the same language.
Right.
Because I feel like some things that are normal for me now, they are still considered above the average in Italy.
That's true.
And so I learned a lesson. For example, now there are some topics I decided I'm not going to talk about in general, especially with some people, but in general, because I don't want to kind of feel that pressure, or feeling like I owe someone an excuse about how I am.
Right.
Just to keep it like really broad.
Yeah, no, I get it.
So I don't think you are supposed to do that. And also, there are so many other topics you can talk about. And when it's about ethics, I think you should also do your own research and have your opinion about it before talking about it with someone.
Yeah, that's true, actually. That's very true. It happens all the time that people just talk about stuff they don't even know about.
Yeah, they have no idea.
Yeah.
And mainly what I notice is that, especially with my old friends, on both sides, so me towards them and vice versa, I think since we grew up together, we still have some biases about how the other person is behaving, how they think, because we are used to that old version, or let's say that young version of them.
Yeah.
So we take for granted, okay, Erica has always been like this, so she's like this now as well.
Yeah, that's true.
So sometimes it's harder to show to these people, like, hey, look, I'm changed.
Yeah.
I'm not that person.
Yeah, that's true.
So if I tell you something, I'm still a different person, so you should talk to me like with new eyes every time.
Yeah, that's true, because you didn't you ended up spending a lot of time apart, maybe. So it's kind of easy to fall into the old patterns, and assuming that the other person is gonna be exactly like you remembered, but that's not always the case. So yeah, no, I do agree. I feel like it's I also have topics I prefer not to share with certain people, because I don't want to start any arguments. I don't want to feel like, as you were saying, I feel like I need to give them some sort of explanation. I don't think that's what's friendship is about. And so yeah, it is sad in a way, because like maybe you really like that person and you really like spending time with them, but maybe you cannot be 100% yourself all the time. That can also happen, right?
Yeah, actually, that was right on spot because I was thinking, I don't think there are many people on this planet with whom I'm myself. Actually,
Yeah.
maybe it's just me. I think because I realize with different person I'm a different me. Maybe with some people I'm like more like the comedian Erica, or with other ones like Erica the depressive Erica,
Yeah,
or
that's true.
Erica that always gets super upset. So and sometimes it's also my fault. Maybe I play the part that I think people expect me to play.
It's very true, and I feel like it's very common. I think everybody feels like that a little bit. I also, I'm not 100% myself with most people in my life. I not even with my family sometimes, because
No,
I know
no.
that, if something you're, doing that I don't like, maybe I pretend I'm not seeing that thing, so we don't end up having an argument about it. I mean, family is a completely different situation, so I'm not even going to go into that. But like in general, yes, I do agree that maybe you play some kind of people. Actually, everybody plays a kind of role depending on the situation and the person they're with. Yeah, it's common. I think it is common. Yeah, of course. Like if you're at work, for example, right?
Yeah, of course. At work, I'm not myself. I'm not
I
myself.
feel like there are a lot of times in which you have to fake,
Yeah.
right?
I
You
mean,
have
for
to-
example, at work, I tend to be super serious, and then when I'm outside of work, people are like, "Oh, actually, Erica has feelings and emotions."
Oh my God, no. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm also serious, but not always. I have to be honest. There are some colleagues in which maybe I feel more like myself with, that I know I can joke and I can say stupid stuff, and I don't feel judged for that. So it's
But they
also,
judge you anyway.
but I know they do. I know they do. It's fine. I don't care. I don't care. They don't know me. They don't know the whole me. That's the point, right? They know how exactly the amount that I decided they should know me.
Smart.
Smart. No,
Smart.
it's survival.
Strategy.
It's survival
It's one
mode.
of your soft skills, as they say.
Jesus Christ. It's a survival mode. Simple as that. You just. As you were saying, you create your own character
Your
sometimes.
character,
Yeah. I feel like working from home helps, because maybe if you're not in a great mood and you're just, you can fake it for the duration of a call,
Yeah.
and then
10
the call
minutes.
ends and you can go back to your very bad mood.
Yeah, I mean, if you need to swear, you just turn off the camera for 1 minute and you pretend there was something wrong with the internet, and then you come back smiling.
That's also true. Yeah. Yeah, that's also, there are also those kind of calls in which your contribution is that, unmute, ha, and then mute again. That can happen too, right? So yeah. Okay. I feel like we've covered everything.
Yeah, I think we
beyond.
were also, we kind of kept it longer than what we were supposed to. But yeah, we really felt the topic, so we dive into it. And
there was a lot to say, and I think that
there still is.
Yeah, there's still okay.
Yeah.
Thanks everyone for being with us. If you're either watching or listening to us while you're
Cooking,
working,
driving your car,
or exercising. Do people exercise these days? I guess.
maybe while you are sitting on the toilet. I think that's the most
I
common.
so don't want to think about that image, but thanks.
But
So I guess we should say that they should share this, right? That's just if you like it, share it with your friends, your family.
Yeah,
And
we hope that you find some topics that maybe you're like, oh yeah, actually I never thought about it, or actually I was thinking the same. So maybe you find
stuff you can relate to.
you want to think about.
So let us know. There's a comment section somewhere.
You're gonna find it. It's easy to find.
It's easy to find. I'm sure you're better than I am.
Yeah.
So. All right. Thanks a lot.
See you next
soon.
time.
Bye.
Ciao.